Hustle culture is toxic. Working hard is outdated. Just rest. You don't have to grind. And while some of those messages come from a good place, let's talk about the inconvenient truth hiding behind the backlash. The rejection of hustle culture has become trendy. But in doing so, it started feeding a new wave of entitlement, laziness, and disguised avoidance. We're now living in a time where effort is treated like oppression, and discipline is seen as a threat to mental health. Here's the real problem. In trying to escape burnout, many people have settled into comfort. In trying to avoid toxic productivity, they've stopped producing anything meaningful. Let's be clear. The toxic version of hustle culture absolutely exists. It's real. It tells you that your worth is only in your output. That rest is for the weak. But instead, it's coddling people into mediocrity. It's created a world where people feel attacked if they're told to work harder. Have you ever watched a world-class athlete, artist, entrepreneur, or leader who didn't go through years of relentless practice, failure, and effort? You haven't, because that person doesn't exist. They're scared to say, "I'm working late," or "I'm sacrificing weekends," because it might offend someone who believes that ambition is oppression. A world where striving is framed as self-harm. Not going to manifest your way out of the struggle. If unwilling to move your feet. Work is still the foundation. Discipline is still the requirement. Hustle, real, focused, intentional hustle, is still part of the formula. That you're not doing enough unless you're exhausted. That's dangerous. No argument there. But what we're seeing now is the other extreme, where people romanticize doing nothing. They mock ambition. They roll their eyes at discipline. They use balance as an excuse to avoid pressure. And here's the outcome. They stay broke. Not just financially, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Success doesn't happen because you believe in yourself. Doesn't magically appear when you set intentions. It shows up when you work. When you show up with consistency, even when it's not comfortable. It requires seasons where you prioritize the mission above your mood, where you push through boredom, fatigue, and resistance. Not because you hate yourself, but because you love who you're becoming. Even when it's not popular. Even when everyone else is posting rest as productive quotes while binge-watching their 5th show of the week. Here as a truth few will say out loud. The path to greatness requires phases of imbalance. The backlash to hustle culture was supposed to protect people from self-destruction. Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen someone who reached financial freedom without long periods of hustle? You're not going to affirm your way into success. But now, people are scared to admit they're grinding. Let's clear something up. Rest is not the enemy. Burnout is not the goal. But pretending that all progress can happen in perfect balance and comfort, that's a lie. If you're building something big, if you're chasing freedom, if you're trying to change your life, you will have to pay a price. And the price doesn't come in the form of comfort. It comes in the form of delayed gratification, of skipped parties, of early mornings. You should, but rest with purpose. Rest as part of the mission. Or are you avoiding the work altogether? Not as an escape from it. Of late nights, but that discomfort is where the magic happens. They're afraid to look like they're trying too hard. The kind of alignment that understands the difference between seasons of sprinting and seasons of rest. The kind that knows when to push and when to pause. The kind that doesn't demonize hard work, but uses it with precision. To strive, to grow. But growth doesn't come from scrolling through quotes about balance. It comes from doing the work when no one's clapping. They want to be seen as balanced more than they want to win. You don't have to burn out. But you do have to burn with purpose. Of missed trends and quiet rooms and invisible progress. Here's what's dangerous. Many people are staying broke because they're afraid to be misunderstood. You can rest, or you protecting your excuses. There's a difference between intentional rest and lazy rationalization. The first fuels you. The second drains you in disguise. So ask yourself honestly, Are you resisting toxic hustle? Are you protecting your energy? Are you prioritizing mental health? Are you just uncomfortable with growth? Growth will stretch you. It will make you uncomfortable. It will require you to make choices that others won't understand. Hustle alone won't save you, but neither will balance if it's just a cover-up for fear. What you need is alignment, not your feelings, not your intentions, your action. Because at the end of the day, your life will be built by what you do, not just by what you believe. If you're stuck right now, if you feel like life isn't moving, look at your effort. You're not tired. You're underused. You're not overwhelmed. You're under-challenged. You were made to build. So if you've even pulled into the hustle culture backlash and it's turned into your excuse to stay stuck, it is time to wake up. Because while the world is arguing about whether hustle is good or bad, winners are out there building. Success still demands effort, still rewards discipline, still respects the hustle. The backlash might feel safe, but it's keeping you broke. Choose growth, even when it's uncomfortable, especially then. That's where the freedom lives.